Sam Altman is now stating that programmers are going to make 3 times as much money than they are today in salary, even though AI makes programming more efficient and it reduces the cost of making software. But he says that people are going to want 100 times, 1,000 times more software, and I think even more. Pretty soon, everything is software based, which makes sense to me when we think ahead into what AI is going to create, what kind of world the AI is going to create. But this is why you gotta understand hype and you gotta think critically. When there's money to be made, people are gonna hype it up because then they can make more money. So you gotta ignore the hype. When something is hyped, just reduce some points from it and then think critically. Look at history. AI is gonna make everything more efficient, but will it completely remove? Or will it make it so much more efficient that we had a bottleneck, now we can make more and everything increases like it has done through history? We still don't know the full picture, but what he's saying kind of does make sense to me. Now, keep a note that the guy used to say ChatGPT 3.5 was going to remove all programmers, and now ChatGPT 3.5 is so crap that you wouldn't trust it with your code base and your databases. So there's always an incentive for why people say things. He was saying this to the federal commerce, so why was he saying that? There's an incentive for why he's saying what he's saying. So always keep that in mind. But it makes sense to me because when people say that AI is going to remove programming altogether and you shouldn't study programming and computer science, you essentially want AI to be a black box where we don't understand what this thing is doing. When that happens, it essentially becomes religion. AI will become religion if that happens. It's not if or buts about it, it's a when. First, it's a black box, you don't understand what's going on, there's a mystery. God works in mysterious ways. You're gonna have a cult-like following just like Steve Jobs has, super smart guy. Now you have an AI that's bad for everything. You're gonna have a cult-like following, religious following, then you keep going down that rabbit hole 20, 30, 40, 50 years. AI becomes essentially religion. And that's what happens if you don't have programmers, you don't have computer scientists, people don't understand what's going on. AI becomes religion. It's like the Marvel movie with Captain Marvel. They have this, I forgot, the Crows, whatever they're called. You have them where they're listening to a super intelligence, everything they do, and they just follow it. That's essentially what happens. And that's what would happen. No ifs or buts about it. People will just follow this thing like a religion. And 100 years from now, you just have people following AI without even questioning the tenets and this is what you do like any other religion. That's what happens. That's why you always need coders and programmers and computer scientists, even in a world of AI. You actually need them way more just by the mere presence of AI. But we'll know for sure when the dust settles. I do believe programmers and coders and computer scientists are going to be making more money just because we're going to be living in a code-based world. You're going to have AI on everything, you're going to have robotics on everything, so essentially everything is run through hardware and software, which needs to be programmed, which needs to be QA, which needs to be modified, which needs to be improved, and you want humans in the process because otherwise we don't know what's going on. But we'll see. Let's see what the world brings. Everything moves forward.